Hey everyone, welcome to another pick a card. So the tone of this pick a card is interesting because I believe that we're about to have a new moon in Pisces. I'm not sure when this is going to go up. If this goes up after the new moon, it is still going to be useful to you. But I keep seeing these videos about the new moon in Pisces and how it's coming up and stuff like that. And I think it's actually, maybe it's tomorrow. I don't even know the date actually, but I keep getting this intuitive hit. And it's just a strong one that it's like, a career message needs to come through. Someone needs career messages, and something is starting at the new moon that is related to career for someone on my channel. So for some group on my channel, I guess, more than one person. But we're going to be having a career reading right now. That's going to be in alignment with this new moon. So the good thing about this is if it gets out after the new moon, you will already know about some of these things that have been set into motion. And this also does not have to be the new moon in Pisces necessarily. This is just a career thing that's starting in a new moon. So it doesn't have to be new moon in Pisces. If you're watching this later, it's still going to apply. It's starting at the next new moon. So whenever you see this reading's for the beginning of the next new moon. So, and for those of you who are seeing it at the time it comes out, it's probably referring to the Pisces new moon. So yeah, so that's basically what we got here. We have 3 crystals in front of us to choose from today. We have the Citrine, the blue lace agate, and the Prehnite. Take all the time you need to select your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need more time. I'll show you the crystals one by one, and then we'll get on with the reading. So pause the video here once again if you need more time. All right, crystal number 1, we have Citrine. Crystal number 2, we have blue lace agate. Crystal number 3, we have Prehnite. All right, so with that said, I'm going to get started with the groups, starting with crystal number 1, the Citrine. Hey, group 1, if you pick the Citrine, this will be your reading. So first I wanted to start with the spirit animal. This is the spirit animal I'm pulling from this book, and this is basically to find what spirit animal is in alignment with your career. What animal is specifically guiding you through career goals. I feel called to say this book is by Dr. Stephen Farmer. So yeah, if you're looking into this book, that's the guy to get this book. Okay, so let's flip through. I'm not gonna even look at the pages. I'm looking to the side right now. This one feels good. Okay, cougar. Okay, this also mountain lion or puma, cougar. This cougar right here is your spirit animal when it comes to your career. Kind of a predatory animal. I assume you guys are meant to be go-getters. You're probably my types that find more success when you take action on your plans. But let's see what it says. You're being called upon to provide leadership to your family, friends, community, or the world as a whole. There's a need for you to be very decisive right now and not equivocate. I think equivocate means like deciding something or like trying to make sure everything's equal or something like that. I don't actually know what equivocate means, so put it in the comments if you know what that word means. But I do know what decisive right now means. That means definitely taking action, not worrying about trying to figure out what's the right path. It means just taking action. It says no more procrastinating on that important task, just get to it. Of course. Okay, so I didn't even read this, but I kind of have an understanding of this animal already. It's about action. It's about finding a way to take action now, making moves on your career now. Stay strong, clear, and assertive with those who are asking or demanding that you change when you're not ready to. Interesting. So yeah, although you're being asked to be assertive and basically you're asked to take action and go with the flow and kind of follow your impulses, it's possible with who are asking and demanding you. Maybe some people are saying, no, slow down. Don't worry about that. Don't get too ahead of yourself. I feel that's kind of the vibe here. Like people are telling you to back off, slow down, don't get ahead of yourself, don't start this project, won't you have too much on your plate, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of things people could be saying. Move forward with faith and courage and keep your eyes on the goal. That's right. There's a target you guys want to achieve. It's important to keep that in mind. Okay, let's get into your reading. First beginning there. I'm going to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle card and a Career and Money Oracle card. Okay, let's see here. For your Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Exchanging Gifts. And for your Career and Money card, I just got a lot of warmth through my body pulling this from this deck. A lot of heat. Let's see. For your career card, we have Chess, Money Strategy, Wise Spending, Long Game, Military leader thinking it through. I do want to put out leader has come out twice, being a leader in some specific thing. The cougar had the word leader in the description, and we have leader here in the career situation here. So that might be narrowing the focus into a position where maybe something with your career, you will be stepping up into a leadership role. So maybe by this next new moon, something happens that's hinting at that, right? It's going to be hinting at that. Or there's a feeling that a position opens up, or you get curious about a position, you have the idea about a position. That is a leadership role this time. Let's get your tarot cards. Let's see, what tarot cards need to come out for group 1 about their career. 4 of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Swords upright, and the Devil. Okay. I'm being asked to roll the rune dice, and I'm seeing actually pink and white primarily as my thing, so I'm only going to roll 2 rune dice. I think I'll do that for each group, just roll 2 rune dice. So the 2 rune dice we're going to roll are the pink one and the red one, and we have these 2 symbols. I'll show you up close if you can see those. We have the symbol for victory, and we have the symbol for, I think this one is for language, is the best way I could put it right now. I know it has other meanings, but I think it represents, it's called Ing, I think, and it represents, I think it's supposed to represent the god who rules over runes, something like that. And this is Tyr, it represents like war and stuff, but also in more common circles, it represents victory. So I do think you guys are gonna have this sense of victory about this thing coming for you. You have like victory is guaranteed. I think also a thing with this is there could be an element of strategy here. We have strategy, right? Do we have strategy in this? Money strategy, yeah. Money strategy could be very relevant here. I feel like this next move in your career is really gonna put your strategic abilities to use, right? I was gonna say to the test, but it feels like use. Like, feels like you guys are already very aware that you have a mind that is pretty good at strategy and knowing the next step to take, stuff like that. Also, language is gonna be helping you with the Ing rune here. Language, using language effectively, making sure your words are clear, making sure like tax forms and documents are all signed and delivered in a very succinct and clear way. With exchanging gifts with the 27 here, this is super interesting because I'm seeing this cat pawing a fairy and the fairy kind of like teasing the cat. Well, I'll show you guys this up close. So you can kind of see it. It's like there's this fairy and then coming out of a box and a cat like trying to play with this fairy. The cool thing about this is I feel like you guys are entertaining someone who, like, to them, you're their plaything. Like, you are this person's plaything. This could be in a career situation or a love situation or family, whatever. You're entertaining this person when you could easily fly away. You have wings. You have wings. Even if they don't have wings, you can still fly away and achieve your goals. You can reach the heights here. Speaking of heights, with the Queen of Swords, she's on top of a mountain and she's beating a drum. This is not just a leadership role. This is a summoning. That means this next aspect in your career, as you become a leader in this career, you will be summoning people to the mountaintop, right? It's like, wow, I'm not the only one who can be up here. It's like, I'm going to bring you and you and you, and we're all going to come together. You know, you're pulling people up with you. You guys are really have a lot of amazing leadership potential just because of the pure fact that you can take people along with the journey, you know? And it's not so much like, there's a Queen of Wands in this deck where there's like cows following her. It's not so much like shepherding. It's more like I'm sitting where I'm at and you can come to me. It's magnetism, right? It's not that I'm guiding people on a journey and like a path. It's like I'm going to stay right here at my pinnacle of success. I'm going to make my music. I'm going to do my thing and people will be drawn towards me. I'll just start attracting people. This is very much like the moth to the flame, but I want to make a little amendment on that metaphor. It's the moth to the flame without the flame burning the moth. Hopefully that makes sense. It's like, yeah. 4 of Pentacles here talks about maybe needing to spend some money or going into your savings. Obviously, follow your own judgment. If you feel like you're going to go into your savings to the point where you're going to be financially destitute, that's not what this card is saying. It's just saying right now, there's a thought in your head, maybe of like a little maybe paranoia of like, maybe I should be saving, but the universe requiring you to actually spend a little more money on this particular role or training for this role or something like that. You are being encouraged to do so. With the Devil card here, this is super interesting. I feel like there's this feeling of being tied down to like another person. And we got that with your spirit animal. There was almost a feeling of like it implying that there's people holding you back and that they're holding you back and putting you in a position where you're not that comfortable. And even if you are comfortable in that position, you have a yearning that is trying to push you into something else. So whether the position you're in right now is comfortable or not, there is a feeling or a push to get something more, to be something more, to do something more. So the devil card is talking about the fact that both these people are blindfolded and tied to the devil. It's interesting that they're blindfolded in this deck because honestly, it's like these people that are trying to influence you don't see the future either. It's like this card's basically saying like you don't know what's going to happen, but neither do they. They might be presenting as types that are saying like, oh yeah, you don't want to do this but no one knows what's going to happen. You know, that's why we have tarot readers. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, it's like no one knows what's going to happen in this situation. Anything could happen, right? It's just the fact that like there is the yearning, and why not move when you feel ready to move? You know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm seeing here. Long game is very interesting. I want to pull a card for long game. I want to pull a time oracle card because long game is interesting to me in this chess card right here, where it says money strategy, wise spending, long game. It's not worth waiting for. Oh my gosh. That's the thing. Okay, so the cards are actually telling me forget about the long game. Forget about something you're going to wait and deal with later in life. I think it's interesting that long game's here because it will progress into a longer form thing. But with it's not worth waiting for, that means go for it. Don't wait for it. Go for it. So it's not worth waiting for can also mean this. Like if you're waiting for something to happen and you're like really impatient and you're waiting for it, this card can also tell you to give up, right? But the way I'm reading it here is it's not worth waiting for this thing that's going to happen many, many years down the line, something like that. Or like maybe I should sit tight with this and know that eventually it's going to pan out and it's going to be something worth it. With it's not worth waiting for, it's not worth waiting for the long game. That's what they're telling you. It's not worth waiting for the long game. The long game will happen in whatever path you choose, but it's not worth waiting for. The fact that you're waiting for some long game end position is not healthy for you guys. I feel like you guys will be victorious in this role. There's a feeling of being victorious. There's a feeling of, I don't know how to describe it, like a well-fought battle and being rewarded. You know, I think you guys are not afraid to go to war when it comes to your passions. You know, at least you want to be that way. There's someone close to you holding you back. I don't know if it's a previous job you're attached to, if it's like friends holding you back, or it's family holding you back. But the devil always is talking about this feeling of the devil can talk about slavery, attachment, being held against your will. That's kind of things that I see with the devil, because the devil has these people, like, and even in the traditional card, they're like chained, right? They're chained and they're like trapped by this kind of oppressive force, right? So think about this. If you guys just remove the blindfolds, you would see, oh my gosh, we're trapped, right? Maybe you don't even know you're trapped. Basically though, it's not worth waiting for. With the devil energy here, you can let go of this. A lot of people, you know, the devil can be that kind of hold on us that we actually have control over, of letting go, right? And I think it's going to make a lot more sense when you realize no one else can see the future, just as you can't see the future. It's like, maybe you guys think in your mind, like, oh, well, if they probably can see the future better than I can, so I'm just going to listen to them. That's not necessarily how it works. There's a lot of people who think they know what's going to happen, and they're always wrong. You know, there's a lot of confident people out there that are like, you know, it's going to happen like this, and, you know, it might even happen like this, and then they're just wrong. I would even say that I'm wrong too. You know, as a tarot reader, like, I have a lot of people that say my readings are very accurate. You know, personal readings, all that stuff. I get a lot of stuff like, this is accurate. But I'm pretty sure there's been a few people that I've like been wrong about, you know? And I think everyone has that. Everyone has the fallacy thing, you know, like everyone can be wrong, right? You can be wrong watching this. The people that you love that are so sure of themselves, they could be wrong. The job that you feel comfortable in, even though you maybe like it presenting as like a good option, that could be wrong for you too. So keep that in mind, that there's never really a perfect, clear, accurate, full-on accurate view of the future, right? We can have these things that play out like dynamics and archetypes, and some of us are better at predicting the future than others, but no one is perfect at it. No one can like paint the perfect picture of the future because there's so many variables. There's way too many variables for one human being to track. You know, even a group of people would be too many variables to track, because I think sometimes our mind just can't comprehend the possibilities that are coming for us in the future. You know, at least they can't comprehend all of it, you know? So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I kind of think I should pull another card, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the chakra love cards. I want to pull one of these to wrap up the reading. Let's get a chakra love card out on the table to wrap up this reading. And you guys, I'm making these readings a little shorter just because I want to try to get this out by the new moon, because I think this is like really important for someone to receive by the new moon. It's like, it's coming to me as like a sense of like urgency almost. Okay, so let's see what chakra card, oh, here we go. We have garnet, to feel more secure, deepen your connection with nature. Wow. Okay, so I'm hearing at this time, you guys, you might be attached to someone, a person's idea of the future, or your job's idea of like, well, this job is going to provide a lot of security in the long run, or something along the lines of you're attached to this feeling of like, well, my friends don't think this, or I'm going to leave this behind, something like that. You are going to get a lot clearer perspectives the more you connect with nature. So for those of you living in the city, you are going to have to find that park and go at that time where it's like less people and you can just be alone at that park. Some of you are actually going to need to drive out of the area where you live to go find and connect with nature. There's a feeling of really needing that isolation to see where things are going. And nature is subjective, right? Whatever's going to work for you, whatever you're thinking of, when I tell you like, go connect with nature, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Where's the location you first think of? You guys have just thought of it. That's the place you need to be. If it's too far, if it's too far, it's too expensive to go to this place you're thinking of, just like go back and think, what's the next place? As soon as your brain says it's too far to go somewhere, then you're going to think of a place you can go. And then once you have that place, that's the place to go. So basically with the security card here, you're meant to see and feel the sense of security in nature to realize you don't need these other outer things to feel secure. There's a feeling of needing to go for your goals at all costs, right? When you connect with nature, you will see the path forward. You will go, whoa, this is so interesting. Actually, if I do this, like I will always have what I need and all this sorts of stuff. This is kind of the key. And it's a root chakra card. It's garnet. Garnet might be useful to you, although I'm actually not seeing specifically for this group, this crystal being relative. If you want to take it if it resonates for you and you really love garnet, or garnet, you feel like you really want to connect with garnet, that's fine. But with the root chakra here, I'm more seeing a sense of getting grounded in your body. And especially with the connection with nature. It just feels like going out somewhere where there's like fresh air, cool earth, water, like I'm thinking lakes, oceans, mountains, forests, parks, desert, cactus, like I don't know why cactus is, I think I'm saying cactus because of desert, but maybe a place with cactus is really important to you. Even places that are vast and empty but still nature count. Let's see, I think that's all I got for you. I want to roll over the tarot cards just one more time, see if there's anything I missed. I think that's about it. Yeah, I have a feeling, you guys, it's going to be some kind of leadership thing. I want to reiterate that, actually. With Queen of Swords here, with being on the mountaintop, there is some kind of feeling of a leadership position and attracting people towards you. It's about standing where you are and magnetizing everyone towards you. I hear it's because of the music you play, it's because of your image, it's because of the sound, it's because of the art, it's because of your creativity. It's the way you show yourself off, and that's what draws people in. That's what I'm seeing. So thank you guys again for letting me read for you. This was an honor and a pleasure, and I hope to see you again in the next reading. You can like, comment, subscribe, buy a personal reading, whatever you feel like engaging more with, you can, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, if you picked the blue lace agate, it's right over here, then this is going to be your reading. I want to start with a Wisdom of the Oracle card for you guys. So let's get a Wisdom of the Oracle card for group 2, and what they need to know about their career at this time. We have blessed. Oh, so cool. Okay. Let's get another card. What was the next deck I was using? Come on. Where is it? What the heck? Where did that deck go? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Weird, it's hiding from me. The fact that this deck that I'm about to shuffle right now is hiding from me, it means all these things I'm about to show you are hidden. Like these are hidden energies that I'm about to pull from this deck. There are things that you might not be seeing, so this is kind of something that could be revealed in time. It's something you are unaware of at this moment. Let's see what we got here. We have light bulb, lucrative ideas, new income source, inspiration, entrepreneur, new job, creative work. I'm hearing for a lot of you, you could have a new job coming up that you actually are not expecting at all. I think this will come out of the blue. I think you'll have a brand new idea for something that you have no idea. I don't think you could really know what it is right now. It's one of those things where it's going to reveal itself in time. Maybe we get into it a little bit more in this reading, but with blessed here, there feels like there's a blessing with your current job. Like it kind of gives me the vibe of like being protected and blessed in the current working environment you're in. But maybe, I don't know why you guys would come. I mean, It does feel like maybe this group is just wanting a career reading just to see how things are progressing or something, or see if they're in the right position currently. But I'm seeing you guys feel super blessed where you're at right now. If you're not really feeling super blessed in your career, this might not be the reading for you. Although I do think I would still stick around a little bit, because I think if you have a feeling that like there might be some new job on the horizon, this could be important as well. Okay, so I'm gonna get some tarot cards here. Ten of Cups, Eight of Wands reversed, and Three of Swords reversed. There's a Cranberry song. I don't know the title of it, but it's like do 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 do, and that's like the melody. I wish I knew the title. I would tell you guys easily, but if you like the Cranberries, maybe that's a group to listen to when it comes to this reading. Cranberries always reminds me of release, like releasing a sad feeling or releasing a sadness. And with Three of Swords here in reverse, I feel there's a feeling of that energy in you right now. And it might even be that, like, even if you're satisfied in your career, there still might be a sense of disappointment, how do I put it, that you can't quite put your finger on. And it might be tied to your career. There's a lot of hidden subconscious stuff in this reading. I think on the surface, there's a lot of blessings in this career that you're in. I think it's really good on paper. I think it's really something you really love doing, or at least you did love doing. But with Three of Swords here in reverse, there's some kind of heartbreak or sadness or negative emotion that needs to be expressed that's not being expressed right now. I do think there have been a little bit of frictions with something you're dealing with in related to work and related to career and related to your finances. These little frictions have left like a little abrasion on your heart is what I'm seeing. And they're not strong enough or powerful enough for you to kind of like realize that it was hurtful or that you need to let go of something. There's a feeling of maybe being a little deluded here. So it's like, I know this career is really good for me. This is an amazing career. It's all on paper. It's all great and it's all amazing. But there's little rough spots. Like, it's like someone rubbed your heart with a little bit of sandpaper, you know? And you're like, oh, that didn't like pierce my heart, right? That wasn't like that bad. Like, I don't feel like totally hurt by it. But there's a feeling of like, you know what? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't shake it. Like, my mind keeps thinking about it. My mind goes back to it. And I don't know. Like, maybe there's not something... You know, I don't know, it's interesting. It's like, maybe there's not a feeling of, how do I put this? The moment with the blessed card here that came out, and I was telling you, if you're blessed in your career and you feel like that, you can click off. I was like, just click off the video, right? And then I mentioned, oh, maybe stay on if there's this, right? This is the reason why the people who are still watching are watching. If you decided to still watch the video and you're at the point where you're hearing about this Three of Swords, this message is for you. This means that you're feeling blessed in your career, but there's something that's off and you can't quite put your finger on it, right? Eight of Wands is talking about how some of this could be like lack of momentum, like lack of forward movement. Like maybe there's a feeling in this career that you're like stationary, stagnant, and there's no like lack of forward movement. The interesting thing here with this current career with the Ten of Cups here is it feels like it's really strong family connections within the career, or that your family is really linked into this career. Like it could be a family business that you're working towards or that you're dealing with. Maybe love is really tied into this career, but there's something about the work itself that's just like kind of like a little irritating or something like that. Or it's not like irritating, like it's such a subtle irritation that I don't think you guys feel it consciously. And if you do, it's like, oh, that was just some weird comment someone said, and you brush it off. I feel like this is my group that like can brush off the little things. Like you don't worry about the little things, but I also feel you guys, the little things could possibly undermine you in the long run. Like enough abrasions to the heart with that sandpaper and your heart's just like bloody all over the place, right? Like trying to think of a good way to describe this. I'm getting mess too. It's like, there could even be a coworker that's like messy and you're like picking up after them and you're realizing, you know what, I'm tired of like cleaning up their messes. Or maybe there's something where you guys save the day all the time and someone else makes mistakes and you end up saving their butt all day and night, right? And maybe that's your job and you're hired to do that. Maybe that's just the nature of the work that you're doing. But at the same time, there's this feeling that like, why do I always have to pick up after people? Why can't they be responsible? Why can't they pick up after themselves? Why can't they do the work themselves? You know, it's like a feeling of like, why do I always have to be the one that like takes the responsibility? Why do I always have to be the one that's like, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of gratitude. Like there's a lot of gratitude that you're doing this, but it might be something that you just, for yourself, are you grateful for yourself that you're doing it? That's really the question here. It could be this feeling of like, yeah, everyone else loves that I do this. Everyone else loves this, that I'm in this job. Everyone loves that I'm in this position. Family, friends, everything fits perfectly, except there's a weird little tiny feeling in me that's eating at me that's telling me maybe this is not the right path for me. You guys could be the types of people that are really focused and feel happiest when other people around you are happy with what you're doing. You know, I'm not like totally calling you guys people pleasers, but I am a little bit. I'm calling you out a little bit on the fact that you guys want harmony at all costs, and you almost sacrifice yourself in that pursuit of harmony. Here's the thing. I know how this feels. I'm like this too. Like when the people around me are happy, I'm happy. It's just how it goes for my life and people like me. And empaths in general. Anyone who's empathetic, anyone who feels the emotions of others. If other people are happy, you're happy. That's just how it goes. With the blessed card here, there are still your feelings to consider. You know, maybe this is my pile too. So I'm right there with you guys. I've dealt with this kind of lesson a few times. But there's this feeling of like, wow, like maybe I need to pay attention to this feeling in myself, but you just brush it aside. You're like, it's not a big deal. Like I'm happy. Like I'm ultimately happy. Like these little remarks or these little comments or this little thing that was said, like it doesn't matter. Like you're brushing it off, brushing it off, brushing it off. I think you guys also could be people who don't take offense easily. You might not take offense easily. You might feel like, yeah, like it's no big deal that they said that. Like I'm not offended by that. But if you guys looked kind of within, there might be a little bit of you that is offended. And like I said, always follow your own judgment. If you're clearly looking inward and you're like, no, I'm so blessed, I love my job, yada, 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 there's nothing wrong, that's great. Here's the truth though. When I got to that point and told people to click off, you guys stayed on the reading. You stayed on the reading. You wanted to see where it was going. You were kind of like, what could be new? What's the new idea? That's kind of like the hook, I guess you could say, into the fact of this might be something that could be my future, right? So let's point this out. We've talked a lot about what the career is and what the career is doing with the family, the loved ones, with the Eight of Wands, the slowing of momentum, with the Three of Swords, maybe a little bit of insults or something that someone placed upon you that you're not really dealing with. Let's get into some other things. I'm gonna roll the Astro dice, and I'm seeing green and blues here, mainly in some of these. So I'm gonna roll the green and blue Astro dice, and then we're gonna look at the runes here, and we're gonna get a little idea of the direction things are gonna be going in. We have, I think this is called Awaz, and we have Dagas here. So these are runes associated with daylight, and I see this one, so there's Awaz and Manas, right? Manas is close to this one. It looks like this one. Manas is actually like this one in that one. So I'm going to read Manas too, because it's like, if you put them on top of each other and line them up, you know, it would be Manas as well. So Manas is my rune for like humanity, mankind, other people. What's interesting about this is Manas separated. I'll show you the runes up closer. I don't know if you guys can see those, but this is Manas separated. It's like when you separate these two runes, it kind of looks like Dagas and Awaz. Awaz is the vehicle you're traveling with. This can represent like your body, or like in Norse tradition, it was like a horse. And the way I see that is like something that like pulls a carriage, or you travel with, or something you ride horseback to get from point A to point B, like a mode of transportation. This could be related to your car. This could be related to your own physical body as a mode of transportation. Whatever vehicle or vessel you use to work your current job in, you're being asked to pay attention to that. Because I feel like there might even be something that could show up for you guys for the subtlety of this experience. There might be like little symptoms in your body that you're noticing. And by the way, guys, I don't do medical, especially like detailed medical. I'll say stuff every once in a while like, hey guys, drink more water. You could use some endorphins from working out, something like that. Simple stuff, right? I don't do like deep medical things like, oh, you have a bypass. Like, I don't do that. I don't do like, you know, it's like, I don't have knowledge in that. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not going to like give knowledge I don't have, that kind of thing. But if you need to do something and something is happening within your body, that could be a situation that could be tied to your work situation, right? Signs that maybe you're like, why is this happening in my body? But it might be related to work in some way. This is also, I'm being told like something that could be irritating too is like chemicals. Like if you're working in a situation where there's chemicals or there's a food product, there could be something you're allergic to or something that is like does not sit with you as far as like something you're working with, and it could have a negative effect on you right now that you're not realizing as well. So you can think about that. There could be like a chemical thing here as well. With Dagas here, I see this as kind of like illumination. I do see this as like day. I'm also seeing this as almost like a butterfly. Like the rune itself looks like a butterfly to me. And I've been seeing a lot of butterflies lately. Specifically before I did this career reading, I saw a bunch of butterflies. And I looked up at the camera timer just now and saw 11:44. So 11:44 and butterflies, if you're seeing any of those, any patterns of 4s or 1s and butterflies, this is your sign that a new idea or a new creative idea is coming, right? Doggos can be an illumination. I typically see Kennas like that, which is the torch card. But Kennas is more like I'm lighting my path. Like I'm finding something to light my way. I'm illuminating the path forward. Doggos I'm seeing right now is like inspiration, ideas, and also shining. Like there might be something that you're in a career with right now where you're not shining necessarily. And it's so funny because I keep being reoriented to the current energy here because I'm seeing the future energy is supposed to be a surprise, right? I kind of got this when I pulled this and the deck was hidden and I pulled it out and I was like, okay, something needs to stay hidden for this person. But there is a feeling of like needing to look out for opportunities. And also taking care of your body, especially in this certain career. And kind of it might be a time where I think when this new lucrative idea comes up, it might be something where you're working for yourself with entrepreneur here. It could very well just be a new job. Or it could be taking on a more creative role in the company that you're already in. So for example, you might be doing something with some kind of chemical or something like that, but maybe you have a graphic design degree or something like that. And so you end up working for the same company, but doing something else within the company. It might not be something as drastic as like changing jobs, but there's an idea you have, and somehow that idea can be integrated into the company that you're already in, right? Because we do see that you are very happy in this position, right? The pain here is subconscious, it's subliminal, it's subtle. It's something that's very difficult to pinpoint. Like it's very, how do I put it? Like a lot of you won't even be able to like really feel what it is. Besides like someone commented something briefly and it was like, could have been offensive, but you didn't take it that way, but you're like, maybe it was. Stuff like that. There's like stuff like that going on right here. But yeah, Doggos talks about illumination. Similar to the light bulb. It's light, it's daylight. It's also kind of reminding me that the path forward will be illuminated. And you won't even need a tarot reading to know it. That's the thing. This is just a guarantee. Like if you guys are nervous about, what's coming next, this is a guarantee that the path will be illuminated. This is almost giving me the vibe of like, you will be the oracle of your own path when it comes up. Like it's almost like, yeah, you're getting this reading and this is all supposed to be for confirmation that what you're going through is happening, but it's also supposed to point you to this confirmation of like, yeah, I will be illuminated when the right time comes. When the new idea comes, I'll be ready to take it on. And we also have new income source here, which means something like that could be presenting itself in the future. Could be this fact that it could be a secondary income or a different way of collecting income than you're used to, right? Maybe you're used to like W-2 paychecks or something like that. Okay, for those of you in other countries, this part might not make sense. I don't know, but in America we have like W-2s and it's like if you work for a company, but if you're like entrepreneur, you're self-employed, you have to have a different tax form. It might be something like that. You're getting your money in a different way. So maybe it's like you're in charge of making your money now, or before it just depended on the company, something like that, or vice versa. Maybe in the family business or the company that you're working for, it was all about the sale and you had to decide how much money you make. And the new job is something really consistent, really something that you get a paycheck every week and you don't have to worry about making a sale or something like that. It's less risky, right? I want to get a timing card to see when this idea is coming. When is this new idea manifesting for my group twos? When is this new idea manifesting for my group twos where they can move forward with their life? We have next month. Oh, wow. Okay, if you guys are watching this, I know I mainly at the intro of this video, I was talking about the new moon and the moon cycles. When the next new moon that you're seeing this is when this is all coming into play. And I do see with the moon cycle here, it's going to take one full moon cycle with next month here in order to realize what the new idea is, maybe even applying for the new idea. So you might even be ready to move into the new idea like quickly. This might happen very quickly once this new thing comes into play. You guys will be prepped for it though, is what I'm seeing. Okay, let's get a Chris Chakra Love card. And let's see what is the last little message we want to conclude on. We have this one. We have Amazonite, which says, creativity. Use creativity to transform your pain into positivity. That is so interesting. Okay, so basically what this card is talking about is these subtle wounds that I keep talking about. It's like, how can I see them? How do I know what the wound is? this is like the worst tarot reading. And I'm just kidding. This is the worst. Hopefully it's not the worst tarot reading you've ever had. But it's like, what are these wounds that this tarot reader's talking about? Like, I don't get it. Like subliminal, like that doesn't make sense. And you're still watching the reading because you're curious to know. If you use creativity and do some creative practice, whether that's painting, drawing, taking pictures with photography, writing, anything creative is going to reveal the actual pain that you're dealing with, right? Don't try to force it. Just do some creative stuff and like look at your creation and be like, because I feel like you guys are the types that can interpret artwork. Like you're the types that can look at an artist painting and go, oh, I feel this sensation from their work. And you're in a way, art and creativity and music and like writing and books, it's all a language to you. It's all a language of figuring these things out. So what I'm seeing here is you're allowed to make your own creative work, set it aside for a couple days, look back at it and be like, what do I feel here from my own creation? That's something that's being really encouraged here. We also have the throat chakra, which is about truth and speaking your truth and living in your own truth. This can be a beautiful way to reflect your own truth back at yourself. And it's interesting, maybe when you painted it, you did not intend for it to look a certain way or be a certain way or anything like that. But looking back on it, maybe the way you critique your art, maybe the way you analyze your art, and the way you intuitively feel the art that you made, that's kind of your answer into what the kind of issue is in the job. And I think that's going to snowball into the idea phase and get you kind of going in this new path, right? Now, some things I said in the reading that I want to reiterate, doesn't have to be a completely new job. Could be a different position within the same company. That is a possibility. But it still could be a new job. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. So this could also be something in a totally different area of something you work with. So for example, maybe you are a wood carver and now you're actually getting into painting chairs or using lacquer or something like that. Maybe there's an assembly line and that's your job or something like that. Whatever it is, there is something coming for you that is new, slightly different. I didn't get the King of Swords in this reading, which would be something that's like skewing to the side. But I do think that I think you guys get the picture actually. I'm feeling like my brain's like, stop telling them these examples, they get it. Okay, so I think that's it for the reading. I always like with the last group, I want to look at the tarot cards one more time over to see if there's anything that I missed. Unblocking creative flow. So basically when you get into this new position, there's going to be an unblocking of your creativity and creative flow as far as like your ability to work in a creative way. There's just going to be a blocking in general, unblocking in general of passion, energy, and creativity. You might notice more momentum in your career when you like move into this new side thing. You also, in the weird way, you might notice like your money, like, how do I put it? Like earning more income and stuff like that as well. There's just a better flow. It's like you're getting into a better flow state. And I feel like you guys are very much like, I appreciate what I have. I'm happy with what I have. But what I'm seeing here is there's like a blocked disappointment that needs to be expressed, right? With the Three of Swords here. And the way you can find it is through this creativity. That's going to be the way that's most likely the way that you're going to be able to tell what the blocked energy is, why it's weighing on your heart. Maybe you guys are walking around with a heavy heart and you're not sure why you are, stuff like that. That happens to people who are like empathetic and they're really resonating with making other people happy, but then they're not taking care of themselves. So it's like when you finally take care of yourself, you're like, whoa, that burden's gone. But it's like hard to pay attention to because we're naturally outwardly, I'm saying we because I'm like this, we're naturally focused on others around us. What's going on in others around us? Is other people happy? That kind of thing. So thank you guys for letting me read for you. Like, comment, or subscribe if you feel like that. You can also purchase a personal reading in the description box below or a link on my YouTube homepage. With that said, I bid you guys adieu. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey, group three. Group three. If you chose the Prehnite, this is going to be your group. So let's get into it. What is this next new moon bringing to you in your career? What is coming next in your career? Chop wood. Okay. Let's get a career card as well out on the table. Chop wood, chop wood. I'm noticing 42 here. Specifically, I'm hearing if there's someone who's age 42, like someone who's 42 years old in your life, this is only if this is the case, they will be giving you a really strong piece of advice on how to work more efficiently. Let's see here. We have sword. Sword says money conflicts, cutting corners, breakthrough, law and order, pay cut, defense being fired. Ooh, wow. Okay. All right. Chop wood first makes me think of with the sword card. In I'm thinking of with a sword or an axe, and you're chopping wood and you're building stuff, you're building resources, you're getting stuff for a fire or something like that. Law and order. What is law and order? If there's legal stuff involved in the next phase of your journey, I don't think there is. With pay cut here and defense and being fired, these are all warnings. Actually, what they could be too is they could be things that are going to happen that are going to be the thing that pushes you out of the current work that you're doing. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. With cutting corners, there might be a feeling that, like, how do I put it? Maybe this job that you had, it was so energetically draining that you were forced to cut corners in order to survive, right? With breakthrough here, I think there's something about, and money conflicts here, there's a feeling that there's just something was not right with this job as far as like how much it was paying you, right? Like, I feel like you guys are just like, wow, I should not be doing this amount of work for this amount of money that I'm being paid. Like, I deserve way more. Also with chopped wood, I feel like you guys are maybe doing a lot of manual labor with this job, like doing a lot of manual labor. Like I said, someone who's 42 years old, I'm actually feeling they either just told you something to make your job more efficient, and it's kind of like a Band-Aid on the wound, right? It's like, or a Band-Aid on like an open, like a gash wound. Like if your arm got chopped off by a sword and someone's like, okay, here's a Band-Aid, fix it. That's not gonna work. You need to like wrap that shit in gauze and like put pressure on it and stop the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna work in this situation. But someone may have told you recently, like, oh, you could do this to be more efficient at your work. And it's like, great, that's nice, but are you gonna pay me more? Like, literally, I feel like you guys are just like stuck in some weird menial job right now where you're like, how did I even freaking get here? Like, how did I end up here? That's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling from you guys. The flags up top above chop wood, they're also, you probably can't see it from here, but they're in the top of the card of chop wood. They're little banner flags. It's reminding me of freedom and liberation. It's reminding me of like sovereignty as well. Like, I feel like this a feeling of stepping into your own ownership of your own life and being your own leader, stuff like that. But ultimately, I feel it's like a sense of freedom. Like, freedom's on the horizon. There might be something coming for you, but there's a feeling of going through some money conflicts. Mainly, I feel like you guys cut some corners, but I don't blame you. Like, I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick about like ethics and pressure and stuff like that. When I was 8 years old, we had these things called the times tables, right? And it's how to learn how to multiply numbers. And they really expected us to just memorize them, right? Instead of like working through them in our heads or imagining how to multiply them. And for some reason, my poor little brain as an 8-year-old could not figure it out. And I had a lot of pressure from society, parents, but not like they were deliberately pressuring me. It was more like a subconscious, like a subliminal thing, like society wants you to get good grades. You have to be really smart. You have to like come ahead. You have to come out on top, like in school, right? And I had all those things internalized to the point where it came to the times tables. I fell so far behind. I was still on like times tables 4s while people were on like the 9th one and stuff. And I remember being like, I'm so far behind. Like, the only way I can do this is to cheat, right? So I really don't blame myself for cheating, because I feel like in that situation, with all the subconscious things that are imposed upon us and how we're supposed to act, behave, the goals we're supposed to accomplish, right? That was a moment in my life where, how do I put this? Basically, I do not blame you guys for cutting corners. If you have cut corners in your job or your work and maybe your boss got mad at you for that or something like that, I don't blame you. Like, what is the work ethic they're expecting? And the fact that you maybe cannot fulfill that, it feels like there's unreasonable expectations in your job for you. It feels like there's unreasonable expectations, and you guys are like, I don't know if I can do all this. So it's like, and they're blaming you for cutting corners. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you set up the expectation. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy on your boss's end. Your boss is like, oh, here's all this work. And no one, if they are aware that no one can fulfill it, and then they get mad at you for cutting corners and try to like give you a pay cut, right? Like, that is so wrong on their end. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm feeling for you guys, is like, there's this feeling here of like being unfairly treated. And even if you did something that was like against the company's rules or whatever, like there's a reason why you did it, right? Like I said, I'm not condoning like unethical or unlawful behavior necessarily. I'm just saying, like, I feel for you guys. If there was any kind of unreasonable demand on you and you cut corners in that situation, trust, you're good. We live in a society that expects us to be like complete workhorses and not get any breaks or any relaxation time, stuff like that. There are some companies out there and some people out there that really push their employees to the breaking point, and that really makes me sad. It really does. As someone who has a low capacity for like super intense hard work and hard labor, I get it, like I'm an intellectual. I do tarot cards. I predict futures, it's not, I'm not like a bodybuilder or someone who works in a factory for like 60 hours a week. That's just not, and once I realized that, that's when like things started falling into place for me, definitely. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're dealing with here. And like I said, there could have been someone who's 42 years old specifically. This is a really specific message, and if it is resonating, that's a confirmation for the reading. Also with 4 and 2 here, there's a feeling of foundation and partnership that's coming through. It's reminding me that like, maybe your team is very well oiled. It's like the team works well together, everyone's doing the most, but it's like there's these feelings of like, well, yeah, we cut corners because we can't get it done otherwise. We can't get it done, and we don't get paid enough to like work this hard. Like, maybe you get home and like a little extra money could help like, take the edge off. Maybe you need like, maybe like the money you get like is helpful for like a sitter or something for your kid or whatever. Like there's so many ways that like getting paid more can actually make your life more comfortable. So like the hard work is not as bad, Let's keep going with the reading. I want to get tarot cards for you guys. First of all, and also I just want to say, I'm sorry that you guys are going through this. Like this sucks. Like I'm just going to say it. Like there's no way to like sugarcoat it. What you're going through sucks right now. So hopefully this reading helps enough where you can either get out of the situation or you can adapt the situation in a beneficial way for your guys' own sense of self. Let's see what we got here. We have 10 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Cups, and we have 6 of Pentacles reversed. So I'm seeing a drum and bass song. I think the artist is 1991. It's just the year 1991, and he's like a DJ, and he has a lot of good drum and bass music. But the end part of the song I was singing on this part. I don't remember the lyrics to that, and then the part that I really did sing was it goes on and on and on and on. And I'm hearing you guys don't want to. There's a feeling of being stuck on a treadmill, right? I think this new moon that we're referring to in today's reading. If you didn't watch the intro, you just went straight to the pile. This is a reading that like is synced up with moon cycles, and like the next new moon is when a lot of these things are coming into play. 2 of Cups talks about some kind of partnership and switching places with someone. This is a kind of odd message, honestly. I don't even know if this I've never seen this happen in real life, but I gotta say it just because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing someone like a spouse or a best friend hears about your job and you hear about their job, and it's like a Freaky Friday thing, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Freaky Friday, the mother and the daughter switch places. It's like you're switching jobs with another person. You're getting their job. You're getting their job. They're getting your job. So it's like a switch. It's an exchange. It's a kind of a feeling of like, we'll just switch places, right? Yeah, how do I put it? Like maybe you're really like not into hard labor, but your friend is like, oh, I love just working and like I like the hard labor part, right? Maybe your friend is in some job where they have to strategize and problem solve, and they're always trying to figure something out and they can't quite get the answer. And maybe you guys are the ones that like, if you fulfilled that role, if you worked for where they were working, everything would be so relatively easy. It would just be like, everything would be simple. You would be getting stuff done, getting results. Like there's a feeling of trading places with someone. So yeah, with the 42, it even means something different. It's like the 2 is represented here by the 2 of Cups. That is also about reciprocity, but it can be about like a swap, like a freaky, like especially with these people, right? There's a bright horizon in front of them. I'm seeing this as a sunrise. You could see it as a sunset, but I'm seeing this as a sunrise. And these 2 people exchanging these shells, and it's a moment or a pact of switching lives with someone else. The song Running Up That Hill is coming through by Kate Bush. If I made a deal with God and get him to swap our places, I'd be running up that hill with no problem, right? That means if someone else was doing your job, it might not be that bad for them. It might be something that's really easy for them, right? The whole point of this reading, I feel, is to like realize that the people that are outside yourself, that maybe you're realizing like this is like laden with envy. Okay, so let me get I'm kind of losing track of my words right now. You guys probably tell, but let me slow down for a second. Okay. This is laden with envy, right? You might see a lot of people and you think, oh my God, I could do their job so much better than them, and I know they could do my job so much better than me. And there might be a feeling of, why are we put in the wrong places in life? Why are we put in these different wrong places? I feel like there's a lot of questions on your end, and there's a lot of envy of like other people. Like, man, if I had their abilities, I would be so good in my own job. If I had their job, I could really put my abilities to use. I don't know how it's going to happen. There's some weird thing where you guys switch places. It's like your friend or someone you know gets a job somewhere and it's something that is better for them, and like the position in their company opens up and you take that position, right? This is getting vibes of like someone stepping down from a position and like knowing you and knowing that you hate where you work and it's just a horrible work environment, and them coming up to you and being like, look, I'm stepping down from this position. We need someone to fill it. And I know you pretty well. Like, maybe you could fill this role. And you guys being like, yes, I could. And I think there's not even a decision. There's not even a deliberation. It's just like a quick, like, okay, yeah, I want this job. I want this job that my friend's offering me. I'm going to take it. With 6 of Pentacles here and 10 of Pentacles here, this talks about community, and exchange. And it's interesting, they're reversed. Initially, I thought they were reversed because there were things that were like negatives in the company you're in. And maybe that's true. Maybe there's not a lot of like solid retirement plans for the company you're in. Or maybe there's, with the 6 of Pentacles, there's no like raises or bonuses, or there's not any kind of like handouts for a job well done. But what I'm seeing is these are things you dream about. I feel like you guys dream about having enough income to pass down for generation to generation to generation. I think you guys dream of being so wealthy and so rich that you can just pay for dinner every once in a while and really take people out that you love and care about and just like be there for them, right? This is very strong energy of like, if I ever have a family, I want to be able to financially support them and take care of them and buy them things and make sure there's food on the table, stuff like that. For a lot of others of you, this is something coming through as well. With 2 of Cups, you could be meeting someone, or your partner could be getting a raise. And because of that, you will not have to work as hard. So it is feeling like you guys have kind of been doing a lot of labor lately, right? If your partner makes more money, you might not have to work as much anymore. That's something that's coming through for a lot of you. I see that your partner might be getting such a big raise that you're thinking like, I can cut back on hours. And it really leads to like a whole different lifestyle for you guys as well. It's not just a fact of like, I'm getting a different job or I'm switching places with someone for a different job. There could be a feeling that my partner makes a lot more money. It's like, and you're seeing how this can provide generational wealth. Maybe there's a better pension, retirement, whatever plan there. And with 6 of Pentacles here, there's a feeling of being able to give back in whatever way possible. Yeah. So let's see, I want to pull that's right. I'm seeing like oranges and yellows. So I'm actually going to pull the red and the white. Yeah, the red and the white astro dice, these dice. And we're going to see what is coming up in your reading as far as the rune dice are concerned. This will give us more indications of what's coming up or what needs to be spoken about. We have, I don't remember the name of this one. This one's Birkenau. This is, I don't remember the Wyaz or something like that. Anyway, this one to me represents growth and abundance. I think it is representative. It's the rune that is representative of like the tree that the Vikings would use to make their bow and arrows, right? I also think Birkenau is the birth of a new idea. And it does relate to the fact that like maybe a lot of this reading is all about like having enough money to raise a family and to keep something growing for a long period of time, you know? I feel like there's a feeling of needing something to be fresh. Like needing something to be fresh, needing something to be new, being dumbed and dulled down by repetitive tasks. I feel like there needs to be a fresh perspective in your work. There's a feeling of newness that's coming through that I feel like you guys are going to either break through to something that's new and fresh when you change jobs, or there's something about your job always bringing novelty in to the picture, right? That's what I get with you and Birkenau together. It's like there's this sense of novelty that needs to come to the picture, to come to the forefront. Looked at the camera timer just now, it said 15:22. So if you're seeing repeated 2s, we have 2 up here for 42, we have the 2 of Cups. Any repeating 2s are really significant. 15 is also the number for the devil in tarot. 15 is the number for the devil, and that just means that you could be tied down to something that is basically using you, abusing you, and not letting up. So what I'm hearing is that once you switch places with someone, they're going to be the best role for this job. You're going to be the best role for their job. And it's like a swapping of places. Maybe you guys have actually really like, for some of you, I'm getting like this image. So I'm laughing because it's not funny. I'm just laughing because, maybe I'm like have been in the same situation, but you know when you have those songs that just make you cry and tear up. I'm hearing you guys have listened to "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush, and you were like crying when that song happened. And believe me, I cry on that song too. It's a beautiful song. But maybe there's a subconscious reason why you're crying, because there is some person or situation or lifestyle where you will be swapping places, and it'll be a really beautiful thing. You know, it's like how do I put it? Like, you know when you and your friends like have the same jacket or the same clothes. Like, shout out to the sisterhood of the traveling pants, right? there's like, you have this item, right? And you share it between each other. But there's also like stuff like swapping. Remember when you were kids, you went and you had lunch on the playground and it was like, okay, I don't like my PB&J. I'd rather have that bologna sandwich that Tommy has. And, you know, and then the person who's the bologna sandwich is like, yeah, Sarah's PB&J looks pretty good. You guys want to swap? And you would swap and you would have like the meal that you actually wanted, right? It's something like that. It's like there's a swapping. It's very kind of like innocent in how this plays out. It's like something very similar like, hey, you know, I could use your job, you could use mine, and your person recommending you for the position. This person would be perfect for this because blah, blah, blah. I would be perfect for this because blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. Now, this is all about growth and birth of not necessarily new concepts, just fertility is what I'm getting with these two. Fertility. I think you will have enough wealth and money to raise a family. Not that you guys necessarily want to raise a family. I'm just saying you will most likely have enough to get by and to support them and to provide a future for them that is comfortable. Let's see. I think I'm going to pull a time oracle card to see when this stuff is manifesting. Like I said, this is something associated with the new moon. Here is when some of the stuff is going to start making itself apparent. You know, new moons can be like ideas or things that are like occurring that are not at a culmination point, but I'm kind of curious when the culmination point is. I don't feel like it's going to be at the next full moon. I think it's a longer term thing, but let me see. I'm just going to pull a time card and see what's going on. August, yeah. If you're watching this reading as it comes out, next August could be very significant as far as like changing jobs or swapping places with someone. Wow. I'm also looking, there's a lot of yellow in this reading too, like lots of yellow, golden browns. I'm really feeling like, that actually reminds me, I don't know if you guys have heard the song by the Stranglers. It's called Golden Brown by the Stranglers. That might be a song that you guys might be interested in hearing. I just picked up my astrodice and started playing with them, and they're made of labradorite. So maybe labradorite is significant for you, working with labradorite, going to work with labradorite. Oh yeah, going to work with labradorite around your neck could be something that kind of makes things fall into place a lot easier. You know, when I've worked with labradorite, it shifts the energy, it shifts the perspective, basically. So it kind of is like moving you in the direction where you need to go to like facilitate these changes, right? Let's pull one more card. So basically, yeah, with the timing card with August, I do think some of these things, August could be a very pivotal month where there's a lot going into motion. This could be the month where you actually realize what's happening. This could be the month where you get the opportunity. I'm hearing when the person recommends you for the work that they were doing, that could be a time that's happening in August. That recommendation could be happening then. And then they could be telling you about the fact that they recommended you. So let's see. Let's get one more chakra love card today on the table. This deck is by Katie Manigashaw, and there's this thing that says here that says raise your crystal vibration. So I'm hearing you guys, if you take some time to raise your vibration energetically, that could be very, very beneficial. Almost if like you start operating on a frequency that kind of repels negativity is what I'm seeing. Also a third eye here. This is great news, right? You have intuition. Intuition is the little tug that pulls you towards your light, right? Maybe you guys have been so in this phase of just like work, that you haven't really connected specifically to your intuition in a while. And maybe you're just struggling and like trying to stay afloat. I'm telling you guys, meditation, especially because you got amethyst here, meditation is going to be so beneficial for you. Definitely really beneficial. I'm telling you, once you get like 20 minutes, just slow down and take deep breaths, everything will come a lot easier, right? Things will flow a lot easier. Sword energy in tarot usually talks about mental mental challenges, mental games, mental stuff, playing around in your psyche, strategy of other people. Like it's all about thought process and how are pieces fitting together and what you're going to do with the different pieces. I'm seeing meditating and letting go of all of that, just letting go. And like, even if strategies come up in your mind, just dropping them, letting them go back to relaxation. That will help you take things one step at a time. Sometimes overthinking gets in our way. Sometimes trying to build a strategy to get out of something just keeps us trapped in that same thing. When really all we need to do is relax, slow down, take a few deep breaths, and move forward. Forgetting the strategy, forgetting the path, forgetting what we want to do, relaxing and moving forward. That's something that I'm hearing for you guys should be helpful at least. Anyway, I'm going to end your guys' reading here. You can like, comment, or subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you want to purchase a personal reading, they're in the description box as well. With that said, I bid you guys adieu. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, okay? Bye.